players leave, just 2 returners. Only Trevin Brazil will play from last year's squad. And then the earthquake. Coach Cal was hired, the head hog coming from Kentucky. Had to rebuild this roster, the number 1 transfer class and the number 3 freshman class. So, Dusty, you've got the talent of Arkansas against some real experience with this Lipscomb team with some veteran players, including some guards.
Yeah, you're getting the best of both worlds. With the NIL, we've got all the talent in the world at Arkansas, but Lipscomb's 3 starters and that are returning and are big-time players. So it's going to be a great game, 2 great teams. We're excited.
Talking about 3 fifth-year guards, you mix in Ognasovic, who had 30 points the other night when Lipscomb got a win at Duquesne, and we're ready to get this season underway. Our officials, Joe Lindsay, James Breeding, and Devin Page, and Arkansas controls first. There's DJ Wagner on the drive to the rim, off the glass, no, and Big Z can't get the tip.
Look for Lipscomb to push the pace and look for threes in transition. With the length like Arkansas has, that's the easiest shots they'll get.
This was an incredible team last year shooting the basketball. Dusty, they were top 10 in field goal percentages, top 10 in efficiency. They do like to cut and make you work.
Absolutely. Princeton offense, they're going to back cut, they're going to dribble drive, and they're going to hope that leads to wide open layups and open threes.
Now, of course, for the Razorbacks, they had a couple of exhibition games. Kansas here at Bud Walton, they lost by a point in Fort Worth against TCU. How do those games kind of help get the nerves out of the way and knock off some rust before the real game?
When you get to play the number 1 team in the country at home, that helps get your legs under you. And honestly, a TCU loss helps a team that might have been a little too confident get a big shot almost. A team like Arkansas needed a loss before their heads got too big.
Boogie Flan just inside the arc, and how much fun is it going to be to watch Boogie Flan play this year, the talented freshman out of New York?
Yeah, he's an amazing player.
Coach Lenny Acuff of Lipscomb said in all of his years of coaching a lot of those at D2, I don't think he's ever played against a player he believes as talented as Boogie Flan. Tough shot. Nasovic will go to the free throw line as he draws the foul. And you talk about this Lipscomb team, and obviously Arkansas saw them last year in Little Rock, but J.O. was not part of that team. He was injured last year, averaged almost 18 a game a couple of seasons ago, and what a return on Monday night with a 30-10 performance.
That's unbelievable to have a full year off and come back to 30-10 your first game. Yeah, that's real talent.
Kind of a throwback player. 6'8", he knows he's going to be challenged tonight by Arkansas's size, but a couple of makes from the free throw line. Arkansas in that win against Kansas scored 85 points, just 65 against TCU, and they did struggle down the stretch in that final quarter, lost a 13-point lead. Curious to see what the rotations might look like tonight for Arkansas. Big Z with the miss. There's the rebound and the follow from Janelle Davis.
Versatility of the guards for Arkansas is going to be their biggest strength this year. They can do it all.
Davis was limited a bit by a wrist injury, but trying to find his rhythm maybe just as this season gets underway. There's Anderson, so good as far as picking up assists. That's a tough shot. And the rebound down to Boogie Flan.
This is where Arkansas is dangerous. In transition with these kind of players, they can really get going.
That's a big screen from Big Z, and Flan long on the shot. Floor rebound comes down to Thero. Pass it to the corner. DJ Wagner with the miss. Arkansas did not shoot well from three in either of those 2 exhibition games, below 30%. Takeaway. Thero with the drive, and he'll scoop it off the window with the left hand.
Thero is a big-time athlete. He's the X factor for these Razorbacks. If he gets in the passing lanes, rebounding, and playing with energy, they're a very tough team to beat.
A couple of years of Kentucky made that transition with Coach Cal. Lipscomb still looking for their first make. They would like to knock down some threes There's Pruitt on the drive. He looks a little bit like Dusty Hannas with his game.
Yeah, he's a good player. Looking at his stats, he definitely rebounded a lot better than I did. He's getting a little stagnant here.
Fland on the 3. Rebound to Pruitt. Lipscomb again last year, 82 points a game. Top 20 in the country. Shooting percentage, top 10. They were just under 50%. That means they got multiple players who can shoot and score, also move and pass the ball well. Hook shot from Williams won't drop, but a whistle going against Arkansas and Thero. Of course, the dude just had this takeaway. I think we'll see a lot of this year, Dusty, as far as the link kind of turning some teams over.
Absolutely. I mean, he's an NBA level, top NBA level athlete, and if he's in those passing lanes and playing with energy, I'm telling you, there's not many guys in the country that have his athleticism.
Think about what he did against TCU. It wasn't just the 20 points and 7 rebounds. It was the 4 assists, 4 steals. Ognasovic with the knockdown. Lipscomb playing without their starting 5, Dylan Faulkner, but they'll lean on J.O. as their power forward. Tied at 6 here in the opening minutes.
You can tell J.O. plays at his own pace. Those are the toughest guys to guard.
Good to see Jonas Adu in the game. He's been limited with injuries the last few weeks. Trevin Brazil also checks in before the media timeout. That 3 well short from Powell. Feels like these teams in need of a media break already. Another takeaway by Lipscomb.
That's good defense by Wagner there, not to get off his feet and make him take something tough.
Will Pruitt trying to lean in, giving up some size, and that ball was knocked away. Trevin Brazil, here we go!
Hey.
Hammer time!
Razorback fans have seen that quite a few times. We talk about NBA level athleticism. There's another one for you.
Boy, his eyes get big when there's no one in front of Trevin Brazil and that rim just waiting for him to rock it home. The drive and the basket from Powell, and a chance for 3 after the first media break. These teams try to get their footing, so to speak, in the first 4+ minutes of the season opener. Arkansas, though, creating on the defensive end. And a high percentage shot from Trevin Brazil to start his season. Lipscomb and Arkansas tied at 8 after 5+ minutes. Welcome courtside. I'm Brett Dolan. Look who I found. It's Dusty Hannas. He got some tie assistance today from Coach C, not to be confused with Big C. But Dusty, it's good to have you here. I know when Cal was at Kentucky, he was known for having really talented freshman players. I don't think that's going to be any different here at Arkansas.
Absolutely not. He comes to a team with 2 players, and he gets the number 3 recruiting class, number 1 portal class. So, I mean, it's amazing what he's done. He's the best recruiter we've ever seen.
Think about Carter Knox and Boogie Fland. We're talking about McDonald's All-Americans. We're talking about top 10, top 20 type players. I'm not sure how long they're going to be here, a year, 2 years or more, but I know Arkansas is really going to build around these freshmen with some of those talented transfers too.
Absolutely. The better they do, the shorter they stay. But I really do think that he's found a core of guys that are going to help build a culture at Arkansas.
That's a miss by Giassi Powell. Could not complete the 3-point play. Ball back in the hands of Boogie Fland. Arkansas has been a little slippery holding onto that basketball in the first 5 minutes.
Absolutely. Lipscomb's all over the place. You can tell it means something. You know, in a bye game for schools like this, there's almost nothing to lose, and they're going to play that way.
And it gets back to what we touched on in the open. Boy, that was a tough shot. How about Asman using the left hand and scoring to put the Bisons up by 2? But you're talking about a talented but young Arkansas team. Some of these guys, their first game, with the exception of Davis, against a Lipscomb team with 3 fifth-year guards.
Yeah, I mean, they're all over the place. You can tell that they're a well-coached team. They're going to share the ball. Anderson's going to hold it a little, but he had 88 assists to 18 turnovers last year in the ASUN. That's incredible. So they're going to trust him to hold the ball, and also J.O. here. They're going to let him do whatever he wants. He had 30 last game.
See that?
I would too.
Coming into play. There's Anderson. Open look at a three. Can't hit. Brazil wins the rebound. Fourth all-time meeting between these schools. Last year they played in Little Rock. Arkansas won by 3. Wild shot from Flan won't go, but he draws the whistle. It was the second half in that game where the Bisons made things really interesting and had a couple of shots in the final few seconds to tie or win. And Arkansas held on for a 69-66 victory. And the Bisons had a 17-0 run during that second half to tighten up the game. Arkansas led by 8 at the half, but it was quite a second half for the Bisons. So they have become really good at winning some of these bye games, and they did it the other night at Duquesne.
Absolutely. When you can shoot the three well, you play disciplined, you're well coached. If that three ball is falling, which it didn't even do at a high rate at the Little Rock game when they almost beat Arkansas, the discipline that they play with, how they share the ball, it's very difficult to beat teams like that.
And it would have been easy for a few of these players to take that fifth year and go someplace else, but I think it's a credit to the coaching staff and these players. They wanted to run it back and see if they could get into that NCAA tournament.
Oh, absolutely. It doesn't help living in Nashville either. Pretty great city.
It's not a bad recruiting ploy. A little pressure in the backcourt. Anderson again so good as far as assists to turnovers last year, top 4 in the country. I think Coach Acuff and the Bisons realizing that this will be a different test against Arkansas's size, their length. Asman on the drive, gets by Big Z, and that'll be a goaltending and a basket.
With a team with all of these shooters, they're sometimes having 5 guys that are capable. You have to stay underneath on defense, and you push them uphill and you switch everything. If you hedge screens that from big men, especially with ones that can shoot, you hedge, they get away from you, and they get open looks. You can't have that.
And it seems like they're just waiting for that 1 second that you let up before they make that cut.
Absolutely.
Carter Knox. Now Wagner on the drive.
Great
There's
move.
the speed, but he couldn't finish. And Avicic lost it out of bounds. Arkansas a little bit sluggish, 33% from the field. They've turned the ball over 4 times here in the first half.
First game jitters, it happens at every level that I've ever seen. It's just, it comes with the business, but like I said, a team like Lipscomb, they've already got their first game jitters out of the way, and they've got nothing to lose.
Yeah, how much does that first game help playing back on Monday night?
It helps a lot, you know. In the pros, you would say fatigue, but in college, all it does is help. It gives you confidence. You've already played against someone with real stats on the line, and you can tell. You can tell that they're ready.
DJ Wagner.
Moving screen.
Indeed, the screen waves off the shot attempt. Big Z picks up his second foul. And the one thing I think we'll discuss a lot of this year, this is a talented Arkansas team. It's not an incredibly deep team. They've had injury problems. They really haven't even been able to scrimmage. So a player gets a couple of fouls early, it's going to change the rotation and flow.
For sure. Like the story of Wally Pip, though, the guys on the bench have to stay ready. Someone's out hurt, someone gets in foul trouble. If you take advantage of your moment, you can become Lou Gehrig.
Asman has a couple of field goals already after getting 3 points the other night at Duquesne. Ognacevic twisting, turning, spinning, shooting, and scoring. He's a throwback type player, isn't he?
I'll tell you what, he can play. And in college basketball, a pick and pop 4 with size like him that can do it all, that's probably the toughest position to guard.
4-point lead for the Bisons on the road. That's Billy Richmond III. His shot won't drop. Rebound to Anderson. A little bit out of control was Miles White. Arkansas with the takeaway. See if they can get a basket in transition. Brazil, tough pass. Billy Richmond with his first college basket.
If the Hogs can get stops and get in transition, that's going to make this game a lot easier. Lipscomb's trying to slow it down, get back on defense, and not let this athleticism for the Razorbacks show.
5 turnovers for Arkansas, 4 for the Bisons. Almost another one. of Nasovic. He will take that three, unable to hit.
Even his misses are online.
He's trying to find it from long range. Nonetheless, 2-point lead for the Bisons. Arkansas the basketball. Boogie Fland left it short. Slow beginning for the Razorbacks tonight in the home opener, season opener. Powell controlling, transferred within the league. He was at Jacksonville. Anderson, step back three, and that would not drop, but I think there's going to be a foul called on Thero underneath. And that's going to be his second to go along with 2 for Big Z. Timeouts. Slow beginning for these two teams, but it's the Bisons on the road, up by 2 at Bud Walton. Those are just some of the accolades for Coach Cal. I know the basketball world still getting used to seeing him wearing red now with Arkansas rather than Kentucky after 15 seasons with the Wildcats, but a 5-time National Coach of the Year. Doing a lot of coaching here in the first 7 or 8 minutes tonight, and he's going up against a good friend in Lenny Acuff of the Bisons, his 6th year at Lipscomb. Back-to-back 20-win campaigns. Last year, Coach Acuff was the president of the NABC, the Coaches Association. Cal was the vice president. Now Cal has taken over, but Coach Calipari has a home not far from Lipscomb. His son Brad was on the staff at Vandy last year, has a daughter that works at the medical center. So they've gotten to know each other, and they're very complimentary of each. And what Coach Acuff told us today, he said he thinks Arkansas is going to get the best version of Cal with this new invigorating opportunity.
Absolutely, and you could see that with the transfer portal that he brought in, which is a little different than his history. So I totally agree with him, and I think all the Arkansas Razorback country is excited.
Kind of waiting for the ignition to go off here in the first half. We knew this would be a little bit of a battle as far as this veteran Lipscomb team. They move the ball well. A couple of opportunities maybe for a shot. They'll pass up the short 2. They'll take the 3, and that's a knockdown from Joe Anderson.
Like you just said, they could have forced a layup there. They made a few extra passes, a wide open slot 3-pointer. They play a beautiful style of basketball.
I know they're frustrated maybe with their 4 turnovers, but again, they move the ball well, and I think that's in part because of the fact these guys have played together so long.
Oh, absolutely. Chemistry is the biggest talent to have on a basketball team. I've learned that over my career. You know, you can have all the talent in the world, but if there's no chemistry, if there's a broken locker room, you know, you can kiss a championship goodbye.
Arkansas down by 5. And Boogie Fland controls again. The point guard out of the Bronx. Carter Knox, that's from NBA range. Is Arkansas forcing or settling a little bit offensively?
I think when you have to get the ball out of the rim like they're doing, and even on the misses, Lipscomb's doing a great job of getting back and not turning the ball over. A live ball turnover for Arkansas is where they can get in transition. If you throw it out of bounds or you make, miss a layup under the goal and you have your guys getting back, it's way harder to get back. So Arkansas is just struggling to play fast and get a rhythm. Lipscomb's doing a great job of getting back and setting their defense.
Davis on the drive, a little bit of contact, no whistle. Second basket for Nelly, the FAU transfer, scored 18-plus a game last season. Many times, though, you were in that Arkansas uniform playing a mid-major here at Bud Walton. And I'm sure there were a few times, rather than fear, you looked into their eyes and you thought, my goodness, this team has come here to beat us, to ruin our night.
Absolutely. When I keep repeating myself, but they have nothing to lose. They have all these bye games. Historically, they lose, and it's just a nothing to lose. I'm shooting every shot when it touches my hands, and as the home team at Arkansas, you have nerves because if you drop it, the fans are on Twitter telling you that you might stink a little bit. So there's some pressure on one end, and Lipscomb, no pressure.
DJ Wagner, a nice drive and a scoop and a chance for 3. DJ last year dealt with an ankle injury, so maybe it had affected his shot. And Coach Cal has said this year he wants him to get his swagger back and feels like because he's healthy now, has an opportunity for another big step forward this campaign.
A lead change for Arkansas right now would be big.
Tied at 17.
Both teams are playing great defense, though. You can tell by the percentages. I mean, 12% from three, 0% from Arkansas. It's a tough game right now.
Nellie Davis on the drive, and Arkansas back in front.
See, live ball turnover, transition basket. If they can force live ball turnovers, they can sustain a lead against this team.
And Nellie Davis, maybe a little bit undersized for the SEC at 6'4". At times last year, he was even playing the 4 at FAU. But one thing he does is get to the rim and score. Absolutely.
You know, he might be 6'4", but he has the body, you know, of 6'6", 6'7", that when you have a little muscle on you, you can get to that rim.
We'll step aside. Arkansas back in front by 2. Arkansas up by 2 after the basket from Nellie Davis. And Dusty, we've talked a lot about Arkansas's freshmen and some of their transfers. The one thing this Indiana native brings, though, I believe tonight is career game number 129. He has played a ton of college hoops.
Oh, absolutely, and played in a Final Four with Dusty May from Florida Atlantic. So, you know, just one of those guys that you can't. Oh,
Arkansas with a takeaway.
Hey,
Brazil with the throwdown. TB4 this year. He's no longer TB2. He changed numbers, but he looks a lot like the guy a year ago. Here's a steal by Wagner. He'll lay it in, and Arkansas has scored 6 points in a blink of an eye.
Turning up the defense, live ball turnovers equals baskets for a team like Arkansas with this athleticism.
You mentioned that just a few moments ago. A little bit sluggish setting up in the offensive end, but they have turned defense into offense.
You can find your offensive rhythm through your defense. And that's what's happening for them. You know, a night like tonight where you're not making shots, you got to find your rhythm through your defense and your effort.
Ognacevic working against the smaller Nellie Davis, but here comes Brazil. Shot clock a factor. Williams with the 3.
Sometimes you just got to tip your hat. That was great defense, and he just made a good shot. Oh, no.
How about that basket? And Brazil with a hard landing after the basket from Billy Richmond. And he gets up limping just a bit.
He's had knee trouble in the past. I hate to see that as a current player. It's one of the worst things to see, but it looks like he's moving fine.
Maybe he dodged a bit of a bullet. Anderson with another 3. He's hit a couple. Just had a knockdown as well from Williams, who had 3 threes the other night against Duquesne. And all of a sudden, this game is starting to find a little bit of its offensive flow.
Absolutely. They tried to start their run to bury Lipscomb, and Lipscomb said not so fast. Couple quick threes, and back to a 2-point game.
Nellie Davis can't hit the 3. Coach Acuff said, I hope he finds his offensive stride sometime after 9 o'clock tonight, meaning after this game is over.
Absolutely.
Big backdoor cut from Hauk, but he could not finish off the window. Missed opportunity there for the Bisons. Wagner on the drive, kicks it to the corner.
Bang.
Extra pass to Nellie Davis, and the 3 won't drop.
That's a good shot. Great offense. You swing to the corner, swing. You'll take those shots every time.
Arkansas 0 of 7 from beyond the arc after shooting below 30% in each of the 2 exhibition games from deep. Well, he's going to challenge Brazil. That was all but down, but it popped out. A takeaway by Anderson. No whistle. He just lost it out of bounds. And remember, this guy doesn't turn the ball over much, but he was in a hurry and
just unfortunate knee buckle right there. I think he had a layup, but that knee had other plans.
The sniper get him? Oh, it did.
Yep. It got him.
That's one that you know is on video somewhere in the Twitterverse, and you're thinking, oh, I hope they have technical difficulties.
Right. At least he had a defender in front of him. When it's you by yourself, that's the worst one in history.
That makes one of the not top 10 lists on SportsCenter.
Absolutely.
Wagner always looking to drive and probe, switches hands, goes with the right, scores again. That's 7 first-half points for DJ Wagner.
That's a tough shot. A great shot. That's somebody that you can tell is a gym rat when they have that kind of control on a shot with that difficulty.
And the whistle going against Arkansas. I think it's Wagner with the whistle away from the basketball. Coach Cal pleading for a different call or different outcome. John L. Davis, who had a quick seat on the bench, comes right back in. Asman working
Good
against
defense.
Richmond. Ball was kicked away. Boogie Flan flying to the rim and scoring with the left hand.
I hate to sound like a broken record, Brett, but live ball turnovers, baskets for Arkansas. Too much speed and too much athleticism.
And there's Trevin Brazil on the floor to earn another turnover. One thing Coach Acuff said about Boogie Fland, I think he used the term electric. Look how quickly he gets to the basket.
That's a skill you can't teach.
Yeah, quick twitch.
Absolutely. And
The electric ability. You can't hit the three. Arkansas still with an offer from beyond the arc. Feels like these are an important 4 minutes for the Bisons, though, in this game. J.O. working against Richmond.
Yep.
But there's Davis with the takeaway. He's going to try and call a timeout, and he'll get it.
J.O. is taking too much time to get into that back to the basket game. If you take too long to get into that spin, the Hogs are coming.
Well, the three-pointers haven't been falling tonight, but Trevin Brazil getting loose. Couple of highlight flushes, and the Hogs up by 6. Let's pop in the old VCR tape and go into the flashback machine. That's a young Dusty Hannas. Look at this range. That's Caitlin Clark distance here at Bud Walton Arena. Not hesitating to pull the trigger on a three. I love it. What a soft-looking jump shot. And the one and only career block for Dusty Hannas. I mean, you're almost beyond the logo with that shot.
Hey, I need to sign y'all as my agents, man. They just throw that block out to Europe, I might have a job by now.
We're working on that. We're trying to get you overseas.
I'll send you a cut.
Couple of seasons at Arkansas, more than 1,000 points. Are your family members watching tonight? Are they paying attention to what you're doing?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I need to say hello to everybody. Mom, Dad, hello. Blake and Madison, Jaden and Jason, hello, everyone. Hope you're enjoying it.
I bet they are. Putting you to work before we get you to work and get you overseas. Tell you what, Arkansas has put in some work here in the last 3 or 4 minutes. It was not a good first 10, but you can see how their speed and length has disrupted what the Bisons have been trying to do offensively at times.
Absolutely. If it wasn't for these live ball turnovers and getting into transition, I mean, have they made a three yet? They're really struggling to make shots.
0 of 8.
Yeah, tough shots even in the lane. So these transition baskets have helped them see some balls go in and get a rhythm.
Bison's in the zone. Arkansas playing catch around the perimeter. Brazil will take that shot. And the one thing I think we've seen from Coach Cal, he doesn't mind the mid-range shot.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's a player-by-player basis for mid-range for me. Threes and layups is all great, but if you've got a guy that can shoot the mid-range, you got to let him play his game.
Right now, the Bison shooting at 39%. They've turned the ball over 10 times. Miles White on the drive. There's been a couple of times where Lipscomb has been trying to drive, and the Bisons will maintain possession. And you can see that player think, wow, I'm giving up a few inches. My shot might get blocked. My pass might get deflected, and it's led to some hesitation, maybe?
Absolutely. When you have some length like this team, they're all over the place. Especially if you start to lose a little confidence, you start seeing ghost. It's like a quarterback.
Right there, Anderson wanted no part of Brazil, but it leads to a knockdown from Powell, his first from distance in the game.
It's like a quarterback in a slump in the NFL. You start seeing ghost.
You do. You start feeling some pressure.
Absolutely.
That was a big hit, though, for Lipscomb. Inside 3 minutes to go in the first half of opening night here at Bud Walton. Davis.
One more.
Took a hit from Joe Anderson. That's just team foul number 4 on the Bisons. Teams have combined for only 6 free throw attempts here in this first half. Shot clock in single digits. Davis uses that screen from Brazil. Shot clock's at 3. Davis has to hoist. There's the first hit from three-point land tonight.
I think I could hear it from the Arkansas bench in the NBA circles. When there's under 7 seconds in the shot clock, you yell butter, butter. When you yell butter, you know as the ball handler, I need to be getting up a shot here very soon. They're letting you know it's on the shot clock.
Now that's some big-time analysis right there. I'm getting butter terminology, and Trevin Brazil gets whistled for the foul.
And growing up, a good jump shot that swished, that's what we'd call butter.
Makes sense. Coach Cal not happy. Obviously, Brazil has some height there. Let's see if there was a push. Oh, I think that's gonna get a foul pretty much every time on that replay.
Oh, for sure.
That jersey and that arm extended.
Yep. See, with a player like J.O., you've made him miss a few in a row. What you don't want to do is let them get to the foul line and watch a couple go in.
Just finds that rhythm.
That's what a scorer wants. Goes to watch a couple go in. It's like you're right back into it.
It's been a little bit unique for Lipscomb. Last year they played 4 guards when he got hurt. Now they've had to kind of incorporate this big-time player and scorer into their offense, but only down 4 in the first half. Flan creating some space with that left hand and then drops in the short jump shot.
I mean, he is so talented. Arkansas Razorback fans better enjoy him while they've got him, because it might only be about 7 more months.
New York native. Big Kyrie Irving fan, and even during that exhibition game, Seth Greenberg said, you know what, he reminds me a little bit of Kyrie, and I have a feeling that's probably by design.
Yeah, I 100% agree. He moves like him, he can shoot, he finishes well, got that sneaky athleticism, real shifty. I totally see the comparison.
There's Carter Knox. How about that step back and a triple from the corner?
Jeez.
First college points for Carter Knox, the freshman out of Tampa. Another McDonald's All-American. Arkansas is 5th in the last 3 years. Asman, he's just left so open he can't help to pull the trigger, but now Arkansas with a basketball and a 9-point lead.
Veteran John L. gonna slow it down. Smart play.
Feels like both of these teams breathing a little bit hard. We haven't had a ton of stoppages. Pace has picked up here in the last 8-10 minutes of gameplay.
A basket right here for Arkansas would be huge.
Butter! I'm trying to get involved.
Yes.
Hey! Knox! Hello!
Hey now!
The sea parted, and he threw one down with the right hand.
Oh, man.
That'll get these fans up on their feet in the final few seconds.
Step back, fadeaway 3, and then a dunk. May not have him long either, Brett.
Arkansas enjoying its largest lead of this first half. Bisons with a few seconds left. Another takeaway. Boogie Flan from beyond. So close. And maybe that's the only thing that hasn't gone Arkansas's way in these last 5 minutes.
Absolutely.
Well, Arkansas, after a sluggish beginning, they've created some havoc on the defensive end. They've had a few throwdowns. How about this one? A poster from Carter Knox as we go to break on opening night at Bud Walton. Arkansas enjoying its largest lead of the game, up by 11 over the Bisons from Lipscomb. Hey, welcome back courtside. Brett Dolan, Dusty Hannas. It was not a sharp beginning for the Razorbacks in the first 10 minutes. They were down 5. A lot of these kids are playing their first college game. They kind of leaned on the veteran Janelle Davis.
Like you said, he's played over 100 college games. He's seen every type of college basketball game. So there was plays there where he made big, fast plays, and he's also slowing it down to let the young guys know, hey, look, we can chill out, need this basket, and it's working.
He scores in different ways than a lot of guys that are 6'4".
Oh, absolutely. He has that size. He's strong. He can get to the rim. He can shoot it. He can make a pull-up. There's no real holes in his offensive game.
Saw him get a steal as well. He had 9 points to lead the way. Arkansas shooting 52% from the field. There was 1 point in that first half. If I would have told you they'd shoot 52%, you probably would have thought I was crazy.
Yeah, they must have went on a crazy streak there, because it was 34% with about 9 minutes left, and I think they got a little hot.
How about the fast break points, though, 17? That was part of the story. The Bison 11 turnovers, and Arkansas made them pay.
Absolutely. And like we were talking about earlier, Lipscomb 0 fast break points. They wanted to slow this game up, because you see what happens when Arkansas gets in transition and running. It's problematic.
Really changed the pace and the score of this game. And again, the Bisons played back on Monday, a win against Duquesne on the road in Pittsburgh, a team that won at NCAA tournament contest a year ago. And Arkansas in their first real game after a couple of exhibitions, and the Bisons control first. How do they hold on to the ball better in the second half?
Oh, great back cut. Give me that. Man, just don't throw it to the other team that's
that would
wearing
help,
white.
Right? See, it isn't complicated. Just don't throw the ball to the other team.
Yeah, that's the only real advice I got for them. Maybe wipe off the sweat off your hands and dribble it a little harder.
Boogie Flan initiating some contact, no whistle, and no basket.
See, with his athleticism, I think if he focused on a glass finish right there, he could still finish it, but he was looking for the foul.
J.O. steps out, Rains in the three. The big man now in double figures with 11 points off that 30-point game against the Dukes Monday.
Not a bad debut to go for 30 and 10. 10 for 18 from the field, too.
Especially when you're about 16 months from your last college game.
Amazing.
Big Z with the rebound and the basket, his first two as a Hawk. And, of course, last year he played 16 games at Kentucky, a former professional in the Adriatic League. Have you been in the Adriatic League?
No, but
can we get you there? Zero.
Oh, wow.
On the drive, he'll score. I'm trying to help out however I can, get you to the Adriatic League.
Some great teams in that league as well. Serbia produces a lot of pros.
Big Z was in some foul trouble in the first few minutes. Got that basket, Arkansas extending its lead. One thing Lipscomb wanted to do was hit some threes. They've made 5, and Coach Acuff said when you come on the road, you play a power team, you're going to have to make some threes. It's part of the recipe. They don't even get one off there. He did just want chucking up threes. He wanted transition threes, playing outside, inside out, whatever the case may be. But Arkansas continues to turn the Bisons over.
Shot clock violation there. Arkansas is really honed in on the defense.
Flan left so wide open he can't help but pull the trigger, and that rimmed out.
On target misses for Boogie. I mean, they're right there. You can tell with his stroke, not many off nights will happen with him. He can really shoot the ball.
Extra pass to Anderson. He's hit a couple of threes, not this time. Rebound to Davis. He averaged more than 6 rebounds a game last year as well for a guy who's 6'4". That's a basket for Boogie Flan. He's in double figures in his first college game.
That's a tough move right there. Quick spin, right into the floater finish.
There's Powell with the 3. Coach Acuff said he's been a rock star for us. They're happy to have his experience as well, and they really needed that knockdown to keep this game from getting too much further away from them. Davis will feed Ivisic.
Tough
the
shot.
Catch, the spin, the basket.
We're talking about Boogie Flan's quickness. You can't teach the Arrows' athleticism. You also can't teach 7-3.
Nope, you can't. It's a weapon to have. Although J.O. got loose, and that was an easy lay-in. Arkansas is going to spend a timeout. Not happy with that defense. We'll break. Arkansas's lead is the 11 in the second half over Lipscomb.
It definitely is adjustment. You know, New York is, erratic. There's a lot going on. Here it's more peaceful. You could think, you get a peace of mind. My mom loves it here because, you get a peace of mind, and she loves that. So, just being able to be here and, be with all the fans and stuff.
You mean there's an adjustment coming from the Bronx to Northwest Arkansas? But, hey, Mom likes it, and that's the key thing for Boogie.
Absolutely. I can go to New York for about 5 days to a week, and one time in traffic is all it takes me to never want to go back.
See the bio for Boogie Fland, and Chin Coleman a couple of days ago said Boogie was put on earth to hoop. And I thought that was a pretty good explanation. Apparently he's the locker room TikTok guy, so he's not just the point guard. He's in charge of social media and everything. And the one thing I think Boogie's probably going to struggle with or take some time getting used to is when do you just go get your points and when do you try to involve your teammates? And you know what that's like. It's kind of the mix and match. How did you handle that as far as trying to score when you were open but also involving your teammates?
Well, I think the difference with me is I was looking to score as soon as I got off the bus. He's the point guard, and he does have to manage that. My role was always I came off the bench sometimes. Different players do different things, but as a point guard, he's got the talent to be able to get everyone else involved because he can just get open himself and get you open, and that's an elite skill set to have.
That's a good explanation. Now 12 points for Boogie Fland. He's just so quick that there's times he could take anybody off the dribble, and, you can drive, and if you make it, it's great. If you miss it, Coach Cal's yelling at you. You're trying to get your teammates involved. Maybe kind of a danger zone as well here for the Bisons. Been outscored 10-8 here in the second half. Ognacevic with an air ball in the three. Unanimous preseason All-A Sun, and he's had some good moments. He's had a few that have been impacted by this Razorback defense, and it's a media timeout. Arkansas up by 13 on opening night. The stats for Coach Cal putting players in the NBA quite staggering, and you've got some NBA experience, so I'm going to quiz you a little trivia time right now. Coach Cal's had 4 players taken with the #1 overall pick in the draft. How many of those can you name?
Anthony Davis.
All right, you're off to a good start.
Derrick Rose.
Look at you. Keep going. Got
John Wall.
All right, now we got a big man to complete the quartet.
It's a big man?
Yep.
Not Boogie Cousins. Marcus Camby? No.
Not a bad guess. How about Cat? Carl Anthony Towns. You came out of the gates hot.
And then I got cold, ice cold.
Well, that's what shooters do. You make a few, you miss a few.
It's the ebbs and flows, man.
It's the constant yin and yang of this crazy game.
Camby had to have been like top 3.
Yeah, Marcus Camby was the guy that put Coach Cal on the map. There's Boogie Fland. That won't drop. I mean, if you could win at UMass, it'll generate some attention. And then, of course, he went to Memphis at 15 years at Kentucky. And again, Coach Acuff, who has known Coach Cal for a while, told us earlier today, hey, I think Arkansas is going to get the best version of him. And I think that was a nice endorsement. Obviously, there's so much attention around this team, and there was with Muss. Muss did a great job. I'll never take anything away from him getting to the Elite Eights. There's something about the lights feeling a little bit brighter when Cal is here because of his track record, whether it's putting guys in the NBA first overall picks or just kind of being at the center of the storm.
Absolutely. I mean, you could tell as soon as he took this job, we're on First Take, Sports Center.
That's right.
It's unbelievable. He's his own brand, and I mean, look, he's in the Hall of Fame right now. It's not a future Hall of Famer. He is in the Namath Basketball Hall of Fame, and it's just amazing to see him in Razorback red.
How about the tip from Brazil with the left hand? Largest lead for Arkansas.
Good switch right there. They're going to look to attack this.
How about Pruitt? How many times is he going to look up and see 7-3 guarding him at the top of the key?
Not often.
Even J.O. spinning, twisting, and scoring. Maybe an extra turn there to try and get some separation. He scored 15, though, so he's more than holding his own.
Absolutely. He plays at his own speed, and that little mid-fade, and if his feet are set from three, wow, great move.
There's Davis again, just crafty the way he gets his shots off in the paint or near the basket.
And you see how he separated for that Euro step. He used that strong shoulder, bumped you while you were going that direction. You go left, he goes right, layup.
Six minutes into the second half. Powell trying to probe, go up against Davis. Working his way into the paint. That's the easiest block Big Z will ever get.
Ever.
That was at his belt, and he just swatted it. He could have caught that.
Yeah.
Take me through this last move, though, from Davis with this maneuver.
So, look, when you go on a blow-by now, he's trying to get in front of you. His momentum is going to that other side of the lane. As soon as his momentum is at its peak, you're bumping him and going the other way. It's almost humanly impossible to stop it. And if the defender does stop it, he's probably worth $100 million.
There's a drive to the rim and a basket from Powell. He reaches double figures, chasing 1,000 in his career. He won't get there tonight, but maybe the next game. DJ Wagner, boy, Brazil was up at the rim. Back up the Bisons. This is what they do when they're floating pretty good. They get some open threes.
See, that they have to start speeding their pace up, which could either get them back in this game or it could help the Hogs start blowing them out.
Yeah, you feel like Arkansas would like to play at that pace. There's Davis again, 13 points for Janelle Davis.
Absolutely, because you can't keep grinding the game out now at 15-point game. The slower the pace, the fewer possessions. You need more possessions to try to get in this game.
You know, Davis had a wrist problem that really bothered him for a long period of time. He was trying to find his rhythm. I think he did when the lights came on. He's healthy. He's playing well tonight. That's why many had him the #1 transfer in all of college basketball, and a nice addition for some of these younger players. And I know there's people around the country who have followed Coach Cal that were curious. Would he hit the portal? We know how good he is with young players. Here's a takeaway. Powell on the drive with an easy lay-in. But it does feel like this new era of college basketball, you need the talented young players, but you also got to take those veterans when they're available.
Absolutely. They're who help you control the pace, because freshmen can kind of get lost in trying to, get to the NBA. Whatever their goals are can sometimes overshadow how they need to play that exact game. And the vets know how it's supposed to be. I do, John L., Brazil, that they've been there and they can help them. Wagner as well.
The threes just haven't been falling with enough regularity tonight for the Bisons. Jonas Adu, the Tennessee transfer, trying to back his way in. The basket, and Arkansas fans saying, hey, I enjoyed this more than when he had 23 points and 9 rebounds in this building a year ago with the Volunteers.
I was here. Him and Connect had us.
Well, that was not a pretty night.
Had us about blown out early.
Yeah, that was a 92-63 Volunteer win. There's a knockdown from Will Pruitt. Again, I think he's got a little Dusty Hannahs in him.
Just a way better rebounder.
Coach Acuff said he'll be on the Mount Rushmore of this program at the Division I level. Really like to get that team to the NCAA tournament. Boogie Flan with the three. And for Boogie, that's his first triple as a Razorback, and 15 points in the game.
Every time he lets it go, it looks good. He is 1 for 5, but a guy like that, he might get hot.
That's a high arcing three, high release. Timeout. Arkansas trying to get a little bit of separation behind Nellie Davis and company. It's a 15-point game. It's a 15-point Arkansas lead over the Bisons. Talking a lot about the guards for Arkansas. They're not strangers to each other. This was the 2022 U17 Team USA. Of course, DJ Wagner, Boogie Flan, Carter Knox. So these guys have some experience playing with each other. And even Boogie, after that Kansas game, was asked about it. And he said, hey, hold on. We played together before. And when that duo combined for 46 points against Kansas, I think it gave us an indication of what it looks like. And I know Lipscomb felt like this could be, and I don't know what your thought is, maybe one of the best backcourts in the country.
Yeah, I'm thinking it is the premier backcourt in the country. You have 3 guards that are all pretty much interchangeable combo guards, and like we were talking about with John L., his strength and how big he is, he's able to guard small forwards out of the guard group. So you can run out 3 guards and not feel like you're playing too small.
Right. Coach Acuff gave us a line today that I think Coach Cal would probably agree with 100%. I'm curious your thoughts. He said, I've never had a good team with bad guards.
Absolutely, because that's who initiates everything. You know, your big can be so great, but who's going to get them the ball? You know, you have to have someone that can create for others and make shots, because they're who has the ball most of the game.
Arkansas now shooting 54% from the field. Turned over the Bisons 13 times, just about got another one. But this Bisons offense trying to create a little of their own off their defense. Pruitt, a little bit of an opening. He'll hit the 3 and a chance for a 4-point play.
One way to make a coach very angry on any level is after an ATO, which means after timeout. If you don't execute the play right or throw a turnover on the play, it'll anger any coach in the world.
Pruitt had 15 a year ago in that game in Little Rock. He got just enough separation, knocked that one down and absorbed the contact from Thero. Picked up his 3rd foul. What Pruitt did last year, though, Manny, I think it was impressive. He was almost, what did Coach say, a 50, 40, 90 guy, and that was Anderson as well. Was talking about shooting 50% from the field, 40% from three-point land, 90% from the free throw line, and there aren't a lot of guys in the country that can approach all 3 of those categories. Boogie Flan.
Man, they're all in there. That's a great shot for him. If teams allow him to shoot that all year, there's going to be some 30-point nights for him.
I'm not going to argue with you. I think you're right. There's the drive and another and one opportunity. This time it's Logan Suber.
Back-to-back and ones, that's how you get back in a ball game. And ones are momentum shifters, and back-to-back, Hogs got to tighten up on defense and get some buckets because they're getting some confidence on the Lipscomb end.
I believe this is the first college basket for Suber, who redshirted last year and didn't score in 6 minutes against Duquesne, so that's one for him to remember. Trying to cap it with a free throw, and he does for the 3-point play. Hey, don't look now. This is back to a ball game. It wasn't that long ago of 16, 17, or 15 points, and now it's down to 8. It's amazing what a 4-point play and a 3-point play.
Ebbs and flows, yin and yang.
Janelle Davis looked like he got a little bit of an elbow there to create some separation, but now Arkansas has given the ball away. Boy, basket here, and Suber on the drive, fouled by Billy Richmond III.
Coach Acuff's going to like him. I can just tell by that in and out. He's lightning quick. As my dad would say, he's quick as a hiccup.
Remember, again, in that game a year ago in Little Rock, Lipscomb won on a 17-0 second-half run. I don't know if they have something like that in them now, but they're on a 7-0 run, and Adu checks out. Ivisic back in.
Ooh.
Ball's going to be out of bounds to Arkansas.
Held it for one dribble long. Obviously, he's their best scorer. He's looking to score, but he had 11 wide open the corner. I think he knows he missed him.
Yeah, that was a chance for a 9-0, 10-0 run if you get a knockdown from 2 or 3.
Shades of the Little Rock game. Big lead. I don't even want to speak it into existence for the Razorbacks, but this is a team that's hard to kill. They don't go away easy.
Arkansas in danger of turning it over again, and Ognacevic gets the personal. He's been able to play tonight against size without getting any fouls until now. So I know sometimes you're talking about a big guy who comes in and you're going up against 6'9", 6'10", 7'3". You're worried about maybe picking up some fouls. He's been able to play without causing too many issues.
Oh, absolutely. He just, when you know how to play with fouls, it really helps your coach because they don't have to take you out of the game. It's a big shot.
Step back 3.
He's right on it. I'm telling you, he's going to be able to shoot that ball for the rest of his life. It's just you always have tough nights shooting the ball. It's not an easy gig.
He's taken 17 shots this evening. Pruitt. He's got 7-3, chasing him through the lane.
God, that's a good move.
Lean in, nice pass. There's a follow from Rylan Hauk.
I mean, see, like a guy like Pruitt, he doesn't get the assist for that play. The guy misses it, but he created that basket. He got Big Z off of his feet, created the basket. I mean, that Lipscomb, they're tough to put away.
The lead has gone from 15 down to 6. Here come the Bison. And Dusty, they've actually outscored the Razorbacks by 5 in this second half. And let's watch this activity, just kind of probing, looking for something. Tough pass, and I thought maybe there was almost a bump from behind, but Hauk followed it in for his first 2 of the game.
Created basket.
This team last year, Lipscomb, they scored 80 points or more 18 times. Now, they're not going to get there this evening. At least it might be tough to get to that point, but you score 80 points at any level mid-major, you're probably going to have a pretty good chance to win a lot of games. And
absolutely.
I don't know what they're going to finish with today, but it feels like Arkansas, over the last couple of possessions, they just have probably not as been as sharp as Kyle would like, and he had to spend a timeout.
Absolutely. And I'm a broken record again, but you've seen no live ball turnovers, and now they're starting to really struggle on getting in that rhythm. That Lipscomb's gotten that flow of the game that they had early, just kind of trying to muck it up, make it a little ugly, and hopefully if they hit shots, then it gives Arkansas problems.
Their next step will be, getting into that NCAA tournament. It's a one big league in the ASUN, and they have had some tough losses in recent years. Coach Acuff said probably like Cal in the NCAA tournament, he used the word cruel. You just, the game doesn't go your way, and there's one shot, and all of a sudden you're done. Thero didn't get the foul called over the back, but apparently officials say he was last to touch, and this is what the Bisons have had to deal with the last couple of years, a quarterfinal loss, semifinal loss, and this is a back-to-back 20-win campaign team, but so many people don't pay attention to the mid-majors unless we see them get a big win in the regular season or a trip to the NCAA tournament. And that's tough. I know it's not fair.
It's a great pass.
It is a good pass, and Williams had an open look but couldn't knock it home. Feels like Arkansas has dodged a little bit of a bullet as of late.
As we were talking about earlier, Arkansas only has 2 returners. It's tough to get a rhythm early. Razorback fans have to know there's going to be some ebbs and flows with this team as well.
And speak to how difficult it is when these teams, these players on this team have not been able to really even go 5-on-5. They've had starters and reserves that have been injured. Some of the practice players have been injured. It's not been normal. I don't know how you contend with that to get ready.
Oh, yeah. It's a very difficult offseason for them with injuries. When you can't play 5-on-5 against each other for most of the preseason, that's really hard on your development. So a lot of this team's chemistry and development is going to happen in real games, and that's tough.
A couple of misses by Thero didn't help. Not Bashful. That was left short, but Super runs down the rebound.
Long threes equal long rebounds, like we talked about pregame.
Yep. That's going to be a 2 because he had a toe on the line, but exactly.
Offensive rebound to a 3. I mean, the percentage has to double.
Has a feeling of deja vu just a bit. Lipscomb's left some points out there, and yet they're still back within 4.
They won't go away.
Arkansas has never lost a home opener at Bud Walton Arena. 31-0. They knew this was going to be a test tonight. Now they have a chance to cut further into this 4-point deficit.
He missed his teammate wide open, too. That would have been a layup and a timeout. We kind of lucked out.
See what type of shot Lipscomb's able to get. Big man's on the bench. Suber. There's the acceleration. Shot may have been altered by Richmond. Hogs on the push. Wagner. Big Z lucky to catch.
Wow.
But he'll bury the triple.
Pretty nice luxury to have when your 7'2" guy can step out and hit a big 3 when you need a shot.
That ended a long run for the Bisons.
I was right on. Tough shot, but he almost answered. Big possession here for the Hogs.
Wagner, you can tell he wants to get to the rim so badly, but that's a turnover, and Arkansas has had 10 of those this evening. Corner three ball, but Williams was out of bounds. So he's missed a couple in recent minutes. How about Big Z stepping out, hitting the three? Big hit for the Razorbacks. Ivisic knocks one down. Arkansas up by 7. Welcome back to Bud Walton. 6:17 to go. Officials took a long look at that three just a moment ago, or the two from Lipscomb. There was just a little bit of a shoe on that line to keep it from being a three-pointer, but it does feel like the Bisons have had a couple of extra opportunities to chip further into this deficit. What's going to take for them to get even closer in this game over the next 6 minutes or so?
Man, you just have to, every opportunity you have to seize, especially with only 6 minutes remaining. Number 11, great move, misses the layup, would have made it a 2-point game. Other end, Big Z3, that's a 5-point swing.
It's just kind of running uphill just a little bit when you absorb one or two of those when you're making that run to cut into a deficit.
Absolutely.
DJ Wagner standing on the slobbering Hog. Hey, we haven't even mentioned that. First time it's been here at Bud since 2007. Big Z, though, on the march. He'll get the basket and a chance for three.
Wow.
The Croatian sensation was trying to get his way to the basket. It was almost in slow motion, but he didn't go too fast and rush.
Yep, just he's saving the Hogs right now. With that three and this and one, I mean, he has saved them from a little comeback story for Lipscomb. I say keep feeding the beast.
You know, he gained 20 pounds in the offseason. I would say there's a lot more to come. He's got a twin brother that plays at Illinois, so he's going to get to go up against his twin brother later on this month.
Wow.
Be fun.
What would also be fun is I wish I could get paid to gain 20 pounds. Sounds like my dream.
Ognasovic back in the game.
Big Z with great defense. Look, I mean, he's leading this charge.
Probably too early, Dusty, to take a little air out of this.
I think big three-pointer or a dunk right here, it could very well do it.
Might get to that point. Shot clock's winding down, and Brazil just lost it off those long arms.
Coach
Numbers
Cal
aren't
yelling
there for
one
the Bison.
hand. Catch the ball with 2 hands. He's right.
You know, Pruitt wants to get off a three. Guarded by Brazil.
He knows not to lay that up.
But over Trevin, but he had to alter that shot, and he didn't hit iron. That was a pained expression on the face of Eleni Yakov. He just didn't like that result.
Good curl and one.
I feel like DJ Wagner's got a little bit of running back in him. He's trying to kind of initiate or absorb some contact, but still maintain control of that basketball where then he can lift. And I don't know how he does it, but you can see him maybe doing things a little bit differently maybe than others.
Yeah, he definitely has a unorthodox game. Real smooth player. He's definitely looking to attack a lot. I think he could look a little more for his three ball off the dribble too, because they're starting to play his drive. But a great player. Arkansas is lucky to have him.
Another one of the McDonald's All-Americans. Handful of guys on this team from Camden, New Jersey. Billy Richmond III. Same high school. Big Z shooting for his 11th point. Still keeps that door open just a bit. I would say, though, Lipscomb's going to have to hit some threes. They've hit 8 triples in the game. Tough maneuver, and that ball again looked like it was in, but it popped out Ognasovic kind of stared at it as if to say, how in the world did that ball not drop?
His own pace.
It's this look after this ball doesn't go in. What? Did I really see that?
Yeah.
Come on, he said.
I've been there, J.O. Doesn't make sense.
Sheboygan, Wisconsin native.
He went from a chance of 3 points, now he's looking at maybe 1 point. Possibly 0.
Leaving some points out there for Lipscomb. We've only had 15 combined free throws in this game, so it has been clean in regards to not slowing down just to shoot free tosses. Almost 4 minutes to go in this game. Boogie Flan back in there, left alone. He'll pull the trigger, and he said a few of those spin around and out. 1 of 8 from beyond the arc for Boogie.
Just one of those nights shooting the ball for him, but he's still got 13 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist.
Oh, every time Pruitt spins and wants to get off the 3, there's a hand in his face. He may have to extend, and he does, but even then, Thero is out there to guard him.
This isn't who you want guarding you in the ISO, too. Oh, wow.
Going to be a foul on the big man. Ognasovic with an illegal screen. Timeout, 3:36 to go. We'll see if Arkansas can salt this one away over the Bisons. Lipscomb has made just one of their last 7 field goals, still running uphill just a bit against the Razorbacks, and we're a few weeks away from conference play, but I'll be curious, Dusty, to get your thoughts on the SEC. The one thing that jumps out at me, in addition to Arkansas being picked 4th, is, my goodness, there's a lot of teams now with 16 SEC teams adding Oklahoma and Texas.
Oh, unbelievable. And I was looking at the Big 12 the other day. It's like 20 teams now. It's time to name it the Big 20 or whatever it is, you know.
It's tough because in some sports, football is one of those, even basketball, there's going to be a lot of conversation about, well, this team plays so-and-so and so-and-so, and the other one does not. You know, you're not going to have anything close to an equitable schedule because you just can't with this many teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Just crazy to see how the conferences have gone, especially like you see the Pac-12, or not the Pac-12, sorry, Big Ten. You know, you're traveling from UCLA to Rutgers. That's some brutal travel.
It is. I mean, I got a couple of football games on national radio this year. USC, UCLA, Big Ten, Washington, Oregon, Big Ten. And your mind still doesn't quite calibrate that those aren't Pac-12 games.
Yeah, yep.
Arkansas is in the bonus. Should they be fouled? Trying to finish this game long. This is what they did not do against TCU, and they didn't score in the last 3.5 and allowed a big lead to slip away. But really, I think the last couple of minutes has been the Big Z show.
No, absolutely. They had a guard on him, too. It's just there's no one that's going to have the size to contest those hook shots, and he has the touch, so, I mean, it's tough.
17 turnovers for Lipscomb, and that is not a recipe for winning on the road. They competed tonight. I think Arkansas expected them to do just that. 1 point chip to 15-point deficit down to 4. The Hogs have found a different gear. Extra pass to Thero.
Hey!
Oh, his eyes were up near the rim once he flushed that one through.
My God.
That's a pogo stick bounce.
That's incredible.
We're going to have to see that one again. I swear his forehead was at the rim. Here's Davis on the drive with the reverse off the glass. And Lipscomb has to call a timeout. Arkansas now has that separation. It's back to a 15-point game, matching their largest lead. Dusty, take me through this dunk from Thero.
I mean, gets 2 feet down, and that's head at the rim. I mean, you just can't teach that. That's world-class athleticism. Top 0.1% of people in the world.
Man, oh, my goodness. Once he kind of pulled himself up, the forehead was above the rim.
Whenever there's the argument of could basketball players play football, I think you just need to watch that dunk and tell me, can Fierro play wide receiver for the Razorbacks? I would think probably so.
Be tight end.
Yeah, maybe whatever he wants.
You know, he actually went into the portal before Cal switched programs, before he left Kentucky. And he considered Indiana, Kentucky, North Carolina, Pittsburgh, Arkansas, and the Hogs lucky to have him. Always wanted to play for Coach Cal, but he was 5'11" at one point when Cal was looking at him. His dad was 6'9". He certainly grew and kind of a late bloomer. That dunk makes it a 15-point game, and the turnovers have been a problem. Fierro, can he outdo himself? He had to gather his footwork, so he didn't quite add the exclamation mark, but back-to-back flushing.
I thought a windmill was coming right there.
I did too. I think he was gearing up for something out of the bag of tricks. Inside 2 minutes. Arkansas about to be 32-0 all time in season openers here at the Bud. Got a bit of a test in the second half. Active hands.
Definitely will be keeping an eye out on Lipscomb this year, too. They have a fun brand of ball to watch.
Pass was knocked out of bounds, 2.5 to shoot.
Fierro is all over the place.
I might be willing to guess that Lipscomb will not have a game the rest of the year where they have 18 turnovers. I think it's just tough to practice against Arkansas's length and their athleticism. And, you know, Coach Acuff told us that today. He said he felt like he was looking at a bunch of future pros and not, 2-3 years down the road, but maybe soon.
Oh, absolutely. You're looking at, total on the Arkansas team, there could be 7 to 9 guys on this team that play in the NBA, and that's incredible.
Visic lost it, although bounced out, and it'll stay Razorback ball, 8 to shoot. Davis got a little bit out of whack.
There's 1 minute to play.
Inside a minute to go. Another turnover. Given right back. Might as well take that 3 for Powell. Pruitt waits for a flyby from Wagner. And there's a hit. 11 tonight for Will Pruitt. About a 12-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Arkansas needs a point to get these fans some chicken.
Boogie.
Leave it to Boogie.
Boogie gave him the chicken.
17 for Fland. 18 shots, 17 points. How about a block for Big Z? He had a standing block earlier. And that should and will just about do it. Arkansas will run out to a 76-60 win against the Bison. Dusty, it feels like we had a little bit of everything in that second half. What stood out to you in this win?
Just how their athleticism really impacts the game once they lock in on defense. When you let them get in transition, the Razorbacks, they're one of the best teams in the country at it. So as the chemistry grows and they play together more and more, it's going to be a difficult team to beat.
First win for Coach Cal at his 4th stop here at Arkansas. Hey, the Razorbacks will be in Dallas on Friday. They're going to take on Baylor. We'll be back on November 13th when Troy comes to town. That'll be on SEC Network Plus. So for Dusty Hannes filling in tonight and our entire crew, I'm Brett Golden, thanking you for tuning in. Once again, our final score, the Razorbacks take down the Bisons 76-60. So long, good night from Bud Walton.